Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something truly fascinating, the sweet revolution. We're going to uncover exactly why beekeeping is shaping up to be the absolute future of sustainable agriculture in Jammu and Kashmir. It's this incredible story that brings together ancient farming practices, modern technology, and, well, the very pressing realities of climate change we're all facing today.
Okay, 2,709. Now, what's wild about this number is that it represents the sheer tons of honey J&K produced in just the 2024 to 2025 season alone. This isn't just some random statistic to gloss over. This massive output has literally rocketed the region right into India's top 10 honey producers, completely outpacing a lot of much larger states. And honestly, the scale of this achievement is phenomenal when you consider the area's unique, rugged geography.
So here is our roadmap for today's journey. We're covering 1. J&K's Sweet Revolution. 2. The Pollination Powerhouse. 3. The Sting of Climate Challenges. 4. Saving the Bees. And 5. A Sustainable Future. Let's get right to it. Section 1, J&K's Sweet Revolution. Let's kick things off with the boom phase and see just how massive this industry has become. Just look at the sheer scale of this explosion. It's incredible to see. Honey production literally doubled over a quick 5-year window, jumping from 1,306 tons back in 2019 to over 2,700 tons in 2024. But here's the real kicker. This growth generated nearly 500 crore rupees for the local economy. And we're seeing this momentum equally in both the Kashmir and Jammu divisions, proving this is a region-wide triumph, not just an isolated fluke.
And listen, this isn't just a niche hobby for a few farmers anymore. It is a major livelihood. Driven by heavy government support and new digital traceability, we now have over 2.27 lakh registered bee colonies, and they're managed by nearly 5,000 active beekeepers. A huge part of this is being fueled by the Holistic Agriculture Development Program, or HAZP, which provides crucial financial aid and training. Plus, the whole sector is being modernized and tracked through the Madhukranti portal, meaning total transparency and better market access for all the educated youth jumping into this field.
Moving on to Section 2, the Pollination Powerhouse. Because as you'll see, the value of these bees goes way beyond just putting a jar of sweet honey on your table. So the absolutely crucial point here is that honeybees are handling a staggering 70% of pollination in the valley. 70%! They are literally the backbone of Kashmir's massive apple and horticulture sectors. Think about it. When bees are just flying around foraging for nectar, they are simultaneously running the vital reproductive cycle for crops. Without that 70% contribution, the yields of those high-value fruits would just plummet, which is a direct threat to food security and the region's overall income. Now, when we actually compare the final products side by side, the difference is night and day. That organic pesticide-free acacia honey, the stuff sourced locally from Kashmir's Kikar trees during the spring, fetches more than double the price of the honey extracted during winter migrations to mustard fields outside the valley. We're talking 1,000 to 1,200 rupees per kilogram for acacia just because of its purity and unique geographic niche. It's a true premium product that is sustaining the local economy. Section 3, the Sting, Climate Challenges. Sadly, every hero's journey has an antagonist, right? And for our bees, it's a rapidly changing climate. These combined climate and environmental stressors are really doing a number on bee activity, especially during that critical April to May flowering period. Beekeepers are dealing with this terrible whiplash effect. Sudden warm spells force the blossoms open early, but then bam, an abrupt cold snap hits and completely paralyzes the bees so they can't even forage. On top of that, erratic, heavy rains are literally washing the nectar right out of the flowers. Throw in the widespread use of harmful pesticides in nearby orchards, and you've got a perfect storm threatening these colonies. To put a human face to all this data, local entrepreneurs are really feeling the sting firsthand. Take Sonia Zara, for example. She's actually known locally as the Bee Queen of Kashmir. She manages 650 beehives, but recently she saw a devastating 90% drop in her honey yields. I mean, going from 300 buckets down to just 30? That's brutal. And she isn't alone here. Veteran beekeepers everywhere are reporting unprecedented losses. When production drops off a cliff like that, the entire economic foundation of the sustainable industry really starts to crack. All right, Section 4, Saving the Bees. It's not all doom and gloom, I promise. Let's look at the interventions and see how folks are fighting back. Traditionally, to survive those freezing Kashmiri winters where there's basically zero nectar available, beekeepers have to undertake this grueling, expensive, biannual migration out of the valley. Every October, they pack their hives onto trucks, drive down to warmer states like Rajasthan and Punjab to forage on mustard fields, and then finally trek back to Kashmir in May, just in time for that lucrative acacia bloom. But here's the heartbreaking part. This transit is so incredibly stressful that 30 to 40% of the bee colonies actually die during the journey. Imagine that. It compounds the massive financial loss for farmers, who, by the way, are already spending upwards of 3.5 lakh rupees a year just on trucks, fuel, and labor to keep their bees alive. When you factor in that 90% drop in honey yields we just talked about, well, these migration costs are becoming entirely unsustainable. Thankfully, we are seeing some real game-changing solutions bloom. First up, there's direct financial relief. Migratory beekeepers are now getting specific subsidies through the HEDP. Second, they've set up custom hiring centers and testing labs to upgrade equipment and guarantee honey quality. But the part I find most exciting, step 3, cutting-edge research by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR. They are actively developing advanced winter management protocols, basically figuring out how to perfectly control moisture, temperature, and ventilation inside the hives. The goal? So beekeepers can eventually keep their bees safe inside Kashmir all winter long, completely eliminating that deadly, expensive migration. That is huge. Which brings us to our final section, a sustainable future. Let's tie this all together. This right here is the absolute most important takeaway. Bees are what we call an indicator species, meaning their current struggles, whether it's from climate stress, pesticides, or habitat loss, are a direct, flashing warning light about broader environmental imbalances. When the bees suffer, it's a massive red flag for our ecosystems and our own food security. Remember that 70% pollination figure? Protecting these bees isn't just about saving honey for our tea, it is absolutely crucial for preserving the entire agricultural foundation of the region.
So the big question we're left with today is this: how will we protect the ultimate indicator species as our climate continues to shift? It's a complex challenge for sure, requiring awareness, scientific innovation, and community action. If you found this update helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with fellow members. For more deep dives into the latest environmental regulations and industrial news, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. See you on the next one.